The evolution of military drones. From Cold War to now, from early prototypes to modern warfare, a historical journey. The story of military drones doesn't begin with laser-guided missiles or AI-powered surveillance. It starts in the paranoia and innovation of the Cold War. As the US and the Soviet Union raced for strategic dominance, both sides explored new ways to gather intelligence without risking human pilots. It was during this era that the first serious drone prototypes emerged. One of the earliest operational drones was the Ryan Firebee, developed by the US in the 1950s. Originally designed as a target drone, it was later modified for reconnaissance missions over Vietnam and China. These missions were high-risk, often launched from modified aircraft and retrieved mid-air or by parachute after capturing surveillance images. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, drone technology remained limited by analog systems and short flight durations. However, their strategic value grew. UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, were increasingly used for intelligence gathering in conflict zones such as the Middle East. Israel notably led the way with innovations that combined real-time video feeds with remote control, influencing future US developments. The 1990s marked a turning point. Enter the General Atomics MQ-1 Predator, a drone that didn't just see the battlefield, but could strike it. Initially deployed for surveillance during the Balkan conflicts, the Predator gained notoriety in Afghanistan and Iraq when it was outfitted with Hellfire missiles, enabling remote precision strikes. This era introduced a new kind of warfare, one where the enemy might never see their attacker. Operators sat in control rooms thousands of miles away, piloting drones across continents in real time. The concept of a drone war had officially begun, and it would transform military doctrine forever. From rudimentary pilotless aircraft to strategic weapons of war, drones evolved from tools of observation to lethal instruments of global influence. And this was only the beginning. Technological advancements and innovations behind every modern drone lies a revolution in software, sensors, and systems. The leap from remote-controlled aircraft to semi-autonomous war machines has been driven by decades of relentless innovation, and it's still accelerating. One of the most transformative developments has been the integration of artificial intelligence. Today's military drones aren't just flying cameras. They can identify targets, navigate complex terrain, and adapt mid-mission, all without direct human input. AI enables pattern recognition, facial matching, behavior prediction, and real-time data processing, making drones faster and smarter than ever before. But AI isn't acting alone. Another key breakthrough is the rise of swarm technology. Inspired by the behavior of insects and birds, drone swarms consist of dozens or even hundreds of small UAVs working together autonomously. These swarms can overwhelm defenses, map terrain, and coordinate attacks, each unit communicating with the others to execute complex maneuvers without centralized control. For militaries, this offers unprecedented scalability and adaptability. Advances in sensor technology have also expanded the capabilities of modern drones. Equipped with infrared cameras, radar, LiDAR, and hyperspectral imaging, drones can now see through smoke, track heat signatures, detect chemical traces, and identify enemy positions in real time. These sensors not only enhance battlefield awareness, but also make drones ideal for urban combat and search and destroy missions in complex environments. In parallel, improvements in aerodynamics, battery life, and satellite communications have pushed drones farther and higher. High-altitude, long-endurance, hail drones like the RQ-4 Global Hawk can remain airborne for over 30 hours, scanning vast territories with minimal human intervention. Combined, these innovations have transformed drones from tactical tools into strategic platforms, capable of intelligence gathering, targeted strikes, battlefield coordination, and even autonomous decision-making. But as capabilities grow, so do the questions. Because with each advancement, the line between human and machine warfare blurs just a little more. The strategic implications of drone warfare. Military drones have not only changed how wars are fought, they've redefined what warfare means. Their presence has altered global strategies, reshaped counterterrorism, and sparked fierce debates about ethics and accountability. On the battlefield, drones offer a decisive tactical advantage. Their ability to loiter for hours, strike with precision, and operate in dangerous zones without risking human lives has given commanders a powerful new tool. No longer bound by geography or pilot fatigue, drones provide real-time surveillance and instant strike capability, often in areas where deploying troops would be politically or logistically impossible. In the realm of counterterrorism, drones have become the centerpiece of targeted assassination programs. The U.S. drone campaign in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia marked a turning point in military doctrine. High-value targets could now be eliminated with minimal collateral risk, at least in theory. Leaders like Anwar al-Awlaki and Qasem Soleimani were taken out by drone strikes, symbolizing the shift toward remote, surgical warfare. But with this power comes serious ethical concerns. Civilian casualties, often labeled as collateral damage, have raised global alarm. When a drone strike hits the wrong target or misinterprets behavior, the consequences are irreversible. The relative ease of launching a drone strike also reduces the political cost of military action, potentially lowering the threshold for engaging in conflict. There's also the issue of accountability. Who is responsible when an autonomous drone misfires? The pilot? The programmer? The commanding officer? As machines take on more decision-making roles, the chain of command becomes less clear and far more dangerous. Strategically, drones are now a key element in deterrence and power projection. They allow nations to assert influence without boots on the ground, complicating traditional definitions of sovereignty and warfare. They blur the line between war and surveillance, between intelligence gathering and targeted killing. And as more countries develop their own drone arsenals, including regional powers and non-state actors, the risk of escalation, misuse, or asymmetric retaliation grows. Military drones may offer precision, but their rise introduces new instability, where the cost of war feels lower, but the consequences remain just as high. The future of military drones. The next chapter of drone warfare is already unfolding, and it's more autonomous, faster, and deeply integrated than ever before. As militaries race to develop the next generation of UAVs, the future points to one thing: less human control, more machine intelligence. At the heart of this transformation is greater autonomy. We're moving toward drones that can detect, decide, and act without real-time human input. Already, prototypes are being tested with onboard AI capable of identifying targets, adjusting flight paths, and responding to threats in milliseconds. These systems are designed for contested environments where communication with operators may be jammed or delayed, forcing drones to operate independently. One of the most exciting and concerning developments is the rise of hypersonic drones. These unmanned vehicles, traveling at speeds exceeding Mach 5, could penetrate enemy defenses before they even register a threat. Hypersonic drones could deliver payloads, conduct surveillance, or even disrupt communication networks with unmatched speed and reach. Their combination of stealth, speed, and automation will dramatically shift the strategic calculus of future conflicts. But speed and autonomy aren't everything. The integration of drones into broader military ecosystems is perhaps the most significant trend. Drones will no longer operate as standalone units, but as part of multi-domain systems, working alongside satellites, manned aircraft, ground troops, and naval assets. They'll feed data into real-time command systems, enable battlefield coordination, and even launch from other drones or autonomous vehicles. Swarm-capable drones are also becoming increasingly viable. These units can overwhelm enemy defenses, carry out decoy operations, or perform distributed surveillance. The battlefield of the future may see hundreds of autonomous units working together, each adapting to mission needs with machine-level precision. Yet as these systems evolve, so do the risks. Autonomous drones raise legal and ethical dilemmas around accountability and escalation. If a drone makes a mistake or acts unpredictably, who is to blame? And as nations adopt automated kill chains, how do we ensure human judgment isn't lost in the speed of machine decision-making? In the coming decades, the battlefield will be faster, more complex, and less human, and drones will be at the center of it all. Beyond the battlefield, the impact of drones on society. While military drones were born for the battlefield, their influence now reaches far beyond war zones. What started as a tool of surveillance and combat has become a driver of transformation across industries, law, ethics, and daily life. In the civilian world, drones are revolutionizing sectors from agriculture to logistics. Farmers use UAVs to monitor crops, assess soil conditions, and optimize irrigation. Emergency services deploy drones for search and rescue missions in disaster zones, and delivery giants are testing drone fleets to reduce shipping times and bypass traffic. In media, drones have reshaped cinematography and journalism, providing breathtaking aerial footage and enabling coverage in hard-to-reach or dangerous locations. In infrastructure, they inspect bridges, power lines, and pipelines, improving safety while cutting costs. Their utility is undeniable, but this widespread adoption brings new challenges and controversies. The most pressing issue is privacy. As drones become cheaper and more capable, concerns grow over unauthorized surveillance, especially in urban environments. High-resolution cameras, thermal imaging, and facial recognition software make it possible to monitor individuals without their knowledge, raising alarms about civil liberties and personal security. The potential for dual-use technology also creates risk. Drones available to civilians can be modified for illicit purposes, including smuggling, sabotage, or even targeted violence. Terrorist groups have already weaponized commercial drones, and the threat of DIY warfare is no longer hypothetical. This prompts an urgent need for regulation. Governments worldwide are grappling with how to balance innovation with safety. Airspace management, operator licensing, no-fly zones, and data collection rules are being redefined in real time. But many nations still lack cohesive frameworks. Finally, there's the cultural impact. Drones have changed how we perceive surveillance, control, and warfare. They've blurred the lines between civilian and military, peace and conflict, safety and intrusion. And as autonomous systems grow more intelligent and more independent, we face a future where machines may observe us more than we observe them. Drones were once futuristic tools of war. Now they're everywhere, and they're changing the world one flight at a time. Eyes in the sky, power in the shadows. From rudimentary prototypes flying over Vietnam to autonomous machines capable of striking across the globe, drones have become more than tools. They're a new language of warfare. They've changed how wars are fought, how surveillance is conducted, and how nations project power without ever setting foot on enemy soil. But with every breakthrough comes a trade-off: efficiency versus ethics, precision versus accountability, innovation versus control. As military drones grow smarter, faster, and more independent, we must ask ourselves, who commands them? Who limits them? And what happens when the machine no longer waits for human permission? Drones have redefined not just combat, but the balance between safety and surveillance, on and off the battlefield. So the next time you look up at the sky and see nothing, remember, the future of warfare might already be watching. Thanks for watching. Stay alert, stay informed, and never stop questioning the tech shaping our world.